VoiceAmerica.tv is online now.
You're tuned in to the 12th Annual Player Networking Event, live from Super Bowl 46 in Indianapolis on VoiceAmericaSports.com and VoiceAmerica.tv. This is the launch event for NFLLegacy.com, where legends are reborn. Now, back to your host, Spencer Tillman, and members of the Voice America Sports team.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Ray Ellis, host of Ray Ellis Sports on the Voice America Network. Of course, we're here live at the 12th Annual Player Network event at the Super Bowl. And I'm glad to have friends with me on the stage today. Of course, we're talking about handle your business. And I appreciate Dr. Grossinger joining us and informing all of you out there about the dangers of concussions. So now we want to talk about other sports. It's not just football players who have to make the transition and who have to handle their business. There's also baseball players. And I have with me Rich Killian.
Yes, sir.
And Rich, of course, former...
Tried out for the White Sox.
That's exactly right. That's all I wanted to hear them say is you try it out for the White Sox. Because transition happens for people at different parts of their careers. We want to talk about success stories. You don't, Rich, as you know, you don't always have to be the superstar, the all-star ball player in order to be successful off the field. You handled your business off the field.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you have to have a vision. You have to have a dream. If you don't make it in sports, or even if you do make it in sports, I mean, like we were talking about before, if you get injured, what are you going to do next?
Backup plan.
And you have to have a plan B. I just happen to have about 24 plans afterwards. But you know, you need to get your school, your education. If you're coming out of high school, college is very important. You know, I went on to my graduate level MBA, and went with that, started a bunch of companies, and you know, basically had a plan.
But think about it, was there fear involved in it? Were you ever nervous? Were you ever concerned about, can I be successful? I've been an athlete a great portion of my life. Now it's time for me to make this transition. Am I going to be successful in that area of business?
Well, I mean, it's a risk in everything you do. It's a risk when you're trying out for, you know, an athletic team. I mean, are you going to make it? Are you going to make the cut? So it's not a question of, are you going to be successful? It's, you know, how do you be successful? I mean, that's the determination, that's a mindset you have to have.
Now, transferable skills. Any of those that you ever bought from the baseball, from the diamond, if you will, to the workforce?
Well, absolutely. Leadership. I mean, sports teaches a discipline. It teaches a leadership. I was a pitcher, and you know, I had to kind of lead the team. So that's a huge transition. I mean, you have to, in your own company, if you're going to be an independent, you have to be a leader. You have to have that drive, that vision, that know-how to lead a team.
Talk to me about a couple of your businesses. You talk. There's 20 plus businesses that you have. There are a number of guys out who might be interested in perhaps maybe being a part of one of your businesses, either as an entrepreneur like yourself, or perhaps maybe even an employee.
Well, sure. Prospect Equity is the name of my real estate company. That's my largest company. We started franchising about a year ago. We're up to 10 offices total with the corporate owns. But everything that I do revolves around real estate. Mortgage companies, I do construction, which things are starting to pick back up with the economy. But just recently on Voice America, I started my own talk show, The American Business Person. So that's my way of trying to help and give back to the community of business. You know, we have a ton of guests on our show, and it's all about, you know, if you're a startup company, if you're existing in business, how do you make the transition? And more importantly, if you're already in business, how do you take advantage of the economy today?
Well, I appreciate the fact that you're sharing information. That's what this is all about. This is the player networking event. So what I'm going to do now, I understand that I've got to make a transition. I'm going to transition over to John Inglesby. John,
thank you, Ray.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm here today. You're here today. We've been enjoying this event. You've been covering sports for a long time. Some of these guys, you see the gentlemen that are out here, you covered them when they played sports. You understand that they're going to have to transition at some point in time in their lives. But right now, John, you're up there covering those New England Patriots, and they look pretty good. I don't want to say who you think is going to win the game, but they made it. I mean, when the season started off, did you really think the New England Patriots was going to make it, really, the way the season started off?
Truthfully, no. They started off, they were 5-3, and the defense was having all types of issues, and the offense hadn't really clicked in yet. And, you know, credit Coach Belichick for, you know, just helping the defense improve week by week by week to where by the time we got to the postseason, they're finally making plays, such as at the end of the Ravens game when they prevented the Ravens from going into the end zone. And They can't take credit for Billy Cundiff missing the kick, though. But, yeah, you know, and that's the hallmark of Belichick is coaching in the Patriots, is they tend to improve as the year goes on, and they've won 10 in a row, and I think that just says it all right there.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and I think John's a little concerned about the fact, well, not John, Tom's a little bit concerned about the fact that the last game that he had, John, it wasn't his best performance. So I think Tom's going to come out, he's going to be a little upset. When you don't want to make him upset.
You don't. I think I've seen it. I've been to all the postseason press conferences in the locker room at Brady and Belichick's press conferences, among others. And Brady has a look and a purpose like I haven't seen in a number of years. I think he's feeling, you know, not that this is the end, but this is the time. It's now. This would be the perfect bookend to the 3 Super Bowls at the beginning of his career. We needn't go into what was lost in 2007.
No.
And, you know, the moment is at hand, and it's tomorrow.
Well, one reason why I wanted to have you up here, John, is because I talk about transition all the time. Guy Troop, of course, is a gentleman that's helped me work with the NFL alumni and help a lot of players that are interested in the transition to help them start the preparation early. You're a young man who's been covering sports for a long time. If you will give these gentlemen an idea of how much and how hard it is to be successful in the business, because you've been successful in the business for a long time, and let them know that the same work ethic that they have on the football field, they've got to bring that to this business.
Well, absolutely. Well, I think the first thing is to use your God-given talent and skills. For many players, it's, of course, the skills they exhibited on the football field. I started as a newspaper reporter and did that for 9 years, and then now I've been transitioning more and more into radio, television, public relations, but I never got away from my core, and lo and behold, here I am this week doing writing and taking notes just like back in the old days when I started my career as a newspaper reporter, when newspapers were a little more relevant. So keep the core skills, add the new ones. That would be my best advice.
Well, for those of you out there who are at the Player Network event today and you're interested in, of course, covering sports and sports journalists, this gentleman is a person you certainly should spend some time with. I understand that there's an expo going on, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about this expo, so I got to transition back over.
Go right ahead.
So, of course, there's an expo that's going on, and Rich, you want to talk a little bit about the expo before we take a break?
Absolutely, real quick. On May 19th and 20th, Chicagoland area at Stevens Convention Center, we're hosting our first annual American Business Person Expo. You can check it out on the2012expo.com. I know we've been running some commercials on it all evening here. But that's exactly what it is. For people wanting to come, we're going to have thousands of people through the door. It's a great, we got 8 guest speakers, Michael Gerber, Tom Ziegler, a bunch of keynotes just to help the business community. If you're looking to start up a business, if you're in business and trying to look for new ways to, I guess, capture the economy today, because it is a different economy than it was 5 years ago. And that's what this expo is all about. So the 2012expo.com, check it out, May 19th and 20th, Chicago area.
Wow. If you're looking for an opportunity, I think you want to be in Chicago. Well, they tell me I got to take a break, so I'm the kind of guy, I follow orders. I'm very coachable. I'm Ray Ellis, and we're live in Indianapolis at the Super Bowl at the 12th annual Player Network event. Handle Your Business is the name of this broadcast, and we'll be right back after this message.
VoiceAmerica.tv is online now.
NFLLegacy.com, where legends are reborn.
The American Business Person 2012 Expo is the event you need to attend. Network with thousands of professionals. Learn valuable business strategies for growth, expansion, and cutting-edge marketing techniques from keynotes Michael Gerber and Tom Ziegler. Capture new business, increase sales, and branding at the2012expo.com. May 19th and 20th at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Chicago. The American Business Person 2012 Expo is an American Business Person production. Find out more at 2012expo.